Hello, so today I'm going to be trying to show you how I made these Christmas decorations, Candyland themed. I can't really show you the pieces right now. This is an old clip because I've put all the pieces away, but I'll try to explain as best as I can how I managed to do this. It was all pretty improvised, and see, you can see here where all the pieces are put away with tape, so it's hard to get out. But where for the nutcracker, I use these trash cans, and the head is a pot where you would normally place a plant, and I just covered it with foam. I cut out the shapes and made them by hand, just free-handed them. And then I didn't like the color, so I painted it mint because it was originally purple and I wanted it to be mint and pink. I used these little cotton balls for the frosting of the cupcake that the nutcracker is wearing on his head, as you can see, or as you will see in the next clips. What I did was just wrap this around a base that looked like this one, only this one is square and the one I used is circular, but I couldn't find the one I used, so I just used, I'm trying to show you an example, how you're gonna wrap it around. So, and then I used this little ball, I painted it red and I used it as a cherry on top. As you can see in this next clip, there's a cherry, there's a frosting I told you, made with cotton, and then I just decorated it around with pieces of foam, or I don't know if it's called foamy or something. I'm not really that expert about this, but yeah, it's glittery, and I just cut it up. I free-handed everything, so yeah, the crown too, the hair. And then for the lollipops, I just used the regular pool noodle hack where you stick it with hot glue. It was kind of hard, and then I decided to cover these with glitter to make them prettier because it was just easier than painting them. I think painting them I just would have given me a harder time, so I just covered them in glitter that was the same color as a lollipop, and then I used these sticks to stick in the lollipop so it resembled one actually. And you can see in this clip how they're drying. I covered them with glue, the liquid glue, and then the glitter, and they're drying. And then I use these little thingies that I have no clue what they're called, but you can find them in the section where you have all the plants and stuff, and you usually use these to make decorations made of plants. Like people will stick flowers and things into these, and they're super soft and easy to shape. They're easy to cut. I just cut them into like triangle shapes, and then I stuck them together with Mod Podge. But my Mod Podge was from the hardware store. It wasn't one you use for crafts, so it was really difficult to dry. And see, I can show you there in the plant section, and like I'm showing you here, it was difficult for it to dry because I used a hardware Mod Podge, the one you would use for buildings. So you shouldn't use that because it took forever to dry, but it worked. It was just kind of heavy. And then I used this color foams. I cut them into rectangulars and circles for the sprinkles. I kind of wish I'd made them all rectangular, but I made them, some of them circle. And there I'm trying to show you how they match my nails. And so here are the sprinkles, as you can see. They're made with foamy. I just stuck them on there. I didn't use glue or anything. They stuck on the Mod Podge easily. And then I used these styrofoam, I think they're called. I don't know if that's what it's called, so don't come for me. I don't know this material. But I use these kind of balls and then these cone-shaped thingies, and I stuck them together with a hot glue gun. And then I just colored the waffle of the cone. I colored it with an acrylic paint. I used like a beige color. And I didn't color the cone top. I just covered it with Mod Podge, but it was kind of heavy, like I said again. So the ice cream kind of looks like it's melting, as you can see in the next clip. I tried to slow it down so you could see that it was pretty heavy, so it started to kind of melt. And they're sitting in the sun so that they can dry. So I would recommend a different Mod Podge. I mean, it looks realistic. It was just that, and it was super heavy as well. These pieces are quite heavy. If you pick them up, they're pretty heavy, so that's why I do recommend that you use another type of clay and not the one from the hardware store that I used. But it just wasn't available in my area. I couldn't buy it. And then I used these circle thingies, but they already had a hole in the middle, so they already look like donuts basically. It wasn't hard. And then I painted it with acrylic paint, and here I'm showing you the brand, but I used like a beige color. And then I used Mod Podge again for the frosting, and I used like little foamy pieces for sprinkles for the donuts, and I laid them out to dry. I put them all to dry in the sun. The macaroons were the same. I used Mod Podge in the middle, and then in the end I just painted them with acrylics. I used this kind of clay for the middle of the macaroon, and I don't know if it worked for something else though. And here's just another clip of my cat, and he's sleeping. He's watching while everything dries. And then this is how the end result looked like. The bag, I had it sent like at a copy shop. I just had them print a picture that I found on the internet, and they printed it for me, and I hung it up on the wall.